And ladies and gentlemen of the internet, we are back after our break from Chaosium Con, playing Vampire the Masquerade. I think my voice is still hoarse from all the laughing I did while we were there, but that's enough about me. Byron, our kind, what is it? Not keeper. What is it again that you are? Like honcho? Storyteller. Byron.
You mean candy? Candy.
Yeah.
Storyteller.
That's right.
Candy.
So we are here.
Sweet thing. Hey, I watched that Netflix documentary, by the way.
I started to.
It was really good.
You watched it without us?
Yeah, it actually happened in 2013. It was actually modern day. They took that back to 1954.
And honestly, I looked into it, but her telling of it was better. I
agree. I agree. It was better than Netflix.
Yeah.
So we played this game called the Great Bourbon Heist.
Yeah.
That was based on a true story, and it was hysterical. And there's a Netflix documentary of it.
It's called Heist as well. It's like one of 3 stories on the episode.
I think there's more than 3. I think there's like 4. Whatever. Yeah. Most of them are 2 parts. It's called the Bourbon King is the name of the
word. And I will say he was better at it than we were. In the end, he didn't have the Lovecraftian swing to have to deal with there, I guess. So
he was also not guilty.
He got away with it.
Oh. No, he didn't get away with it. He got 7 years in jail, but he got what they called shock parole, where they let him out after like a couple of months. Yeah. But anyway, welcome guys to another episode of The Fall of London, the wonderful scenario for Vampire the Masquerade 5 by Renegade Game Studios. We are excited to be back here and playing this. Well, kind of. I guess we're excited. I mean, we're excited to be here and excited to play. But we did have an absolutely phenomenal time at Chaosium Con. And if you aren't going next year, then number 1, you should. And number 2, we won't see you.
Seriously, you're going next year.
Because we'll be there. And we found another little place to eat too, Tara.
Yeah, we did.
Wonderful Tara and her ability to Google search, Google food restaurants. We found a nice little burger place.
Yeah.
Pretty damn good.
We sat there for like 3 hours.
Yeah, we're just going to eat and then get on the road.
It was right around the corner from convention, right over by Maze, actually.
It was.
Right.
Yeah, very close.
On the street.
Right on.
Sweet.
Definitely.
Sat there refusing to leave.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, we were going to leave like 10 times.
Right? I mean...
We all took turns using their bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
It was a sit-in without a cause.
It's good that you took turns, because otherwise they thought you were really fucking weird.
True. It was,
especially since it was a 1 stall,
The restroom was roomy, but it's still...
Whoa. It was roomy. It was very homey, too.
I think we could all fit in, but there wouldn't have been much room.
That's teamwork, though. That's how you
look you in the eye afterward.
It's like when you make the team triangle out on field day.
Look him in the eye during. You have
really hard eye contact. Somebody bears down.
Oh, sorry. Is the hard part of the contact, or is that separate from the eye contact?
It's gonna vary per person.
I have to say, in terms of bathroom adjectives, roomy's in the top 10. That's a good one.
I agree.
I prefer commodious.
Commodious.
Ooh, commodious.
That's a good one.
Oh my gosh.
Nice. All right. Alrighty. So you guys should have your XP all sorted out, minus 3,000 points and so on. You guys have actually lost some disciplines. Just randomly give me a D10 roll. And if you roll a 1, then... No, I'm sorry. My bad.
That is not a kind thing for you to do.
Oh, it's okay for you to add, but I can't subtract, huh? Tyler and I
it's not really us versus you.
It's not. It's not. No. I'm here to help you tell a great story.
This is collaborative storytelling.
Collaborative. It's a collab. But anyway, welcome, and we hope you enjoy. It was nice to get to meet the mighty Thorg in person. He's a little smaller than you might think. But no, just kidding.
Thank God. What did you
Tiny
think he was,
Tim.
9 feet tall?
Tiny tism.
Yeah. Tiny tism. Yep.
Tinatism.
So, Tiny tism.
Hey, Megan thought he was wonderful.
That's
He
because
was
she's
wonderful.
They
Is
still play table
wonderful.
tennis on her chest, so
13.
Oh, poor little girl.
It was very nice to meet him in person. Garrett, we've been secretly plotting to just kind of show up at your.
We're gonna give you a holler.
Yeah, we're gonna show up in the hollers. There's gonna be a hella.
Hopefully the right one.
Yeah, that'd be
Hopefully the right
our
one.
luck. We'd go into the wrong one, and he'd wake up the next morning to cops all next door. I'm like, oh, all my friends,
That neighbor would shoot us, right?
all my friends were shot to death yesterday trying to visit me. Congratulations, Thor. Start over. You can have the keys to the kingdom.
It's all yours, buddy.
Yeah.
He's like, you definitely don't want to go to the wrong one, he says. All right. So when we last left off, you guys had made your way through the London Underground with the help of, what was his name? Do you remember?
Some guy.
Was it Gene? I feel like Gene.
Brenton Phillips. The Regina's Ghoul.
Was it Franklin?
Regina's
Oh,
girlfriend.
The original fellow.
Yeah.
Hi, sorry.
That's pretty good.
It was,
Thank you for chuckling. I appreciate
Trenton.
that, Jason.
Trenton is
That'll be
who we're
$5.
talking about.
Hey, while you're looking that up, super fast, the one thing, because you didn't go around the horn, and that's totally okay. I just wanted to give a shout out to 2 people who we met at Chaosium Con, who will be joining the channel in a game soon. One of them is Marissa, which is cool. We played the Peculiar Taste of Lord Plockington or whatever with Brent. So she's going to be joining. She was fantastic. And then Thomas, who we met at the Iranian restaurant, which was really great.
And by met, we mean forced him to dine with us.
Yes, and we're forcing him to play with us now. It's great. He sent me an email. He's checking out our content.
Awesome.
He's on board. So welcome to both of those. And I just want to get the plug out there. We're always looking for new players. We're starting to do more and more one-shot content, so you can hop in and hop out. Give it a try. Also, Tara will be happy to run a game for you anytime. She's got this double dare scenario that she's going to be getting really good at running. So yeah.
Don't tell Jared. I don't want to ruin his game for him.
Jared would love to have you run it for him.
Hell yeah. He'd love to play in it while you run it too. We should have him on stream.
He'd probably deliver.
Also, since you decided to mention that, and I kind of forgot myself too, we did run into some wonderful guys from Chantel, Tara, and myself. We had some great guys from Sons of Singularity who have some wonderful stuff out there. I purchased pretty much their whole stuff.
Their whole stuff. You just bought it all.
One thing. And they've asked us to do some playtest stuff for them.
Oh, hell yeah.
In the future. So they might even come on the channel and talk about their stuff for an episode of the virtually non-existent office hours.
Finally, if you're looking at this on YouTube, down here, there will be a merch store where you can pick up shirts like this, help support the channel. So be coffee cups. There's going to be some shirts that are designed based on the weird stuff people say on the game and in the chat. And so if we use some weird shit you say in the chat, we'll give you some free merch and a shout out as well. But so check that out, please. It's right there. Just click that and, buy stuff. So.
I can't wait to get my Be Fast, Eat Ass shirt.
Can we believe that?
No, I'm gonna raise the volume there. It's Be Fast, Eat Ass. It'll be great. It's an inside joke. If you're feeling troubled, we won't say that again this episode. But just go back and look at Vile
feeling
Dawn.
troubled, you should attend Chaosium Con 2025.
Yeah, bonus points if you watch all of the Vile Dawn episodes to figure out which one it's into.
Yes.
Yeah, bonus points. All right, so I'm sorry about that. Now that we've been distracted yet again, let's get back to it. So, you guys had made your way through the underground with the help of the wonderful Trenton, the gold friend of Regina Blake. And of course, he was off to the races and had to go see mommy. as soon as you guys were in the museum. You made your way through the boiler room, up through some office space and so forth, and we're just ascending to the end of a hall where you heard some clinking of glasses and some merriment, talking as if there is, well, not as if there is, but there actually is some sort of soiree in process here. If you could go, let's go around, and each one of you tell me what you are wearing. If you had, what you had chose
That's
to
so
wear,
personal.
right? And
I
yet
mean,
so
I can go first because I'm wearing what I'm wearing. And so, of course, a black dress.
You're wearing your boobs.
Showing
That's
off
what
my
you're
assets.
You're wearing your boobs.
What everybody,
I don't know if they're
everybody
wearing it.
needs,
She's
a pearl
just
necklace.
like as
and,
a pearl necklace.
They are wearing her.
yes.
They are wearing a
Nice
pearl
high
necklace.
heels, some nice strappy high heels, and not a lot else.
Well,
I look ready for this party. That's me.
So I should go second. I am dressed in a way that will hopefully ward off some of the horrendous erotic vibes that she's putting out there. I'm wearing a proper priestly attire, though, again, the piping along the edges is blood red, along with the collar. And I am trying not to look at Lady Catherine at all.
Unsuccessfully.
Yeah. Yeah. Critical failure.
Fatality.
Yeah, fatality.
I will go.
Go ahead.
Oh, sure. So Dr. Henry is has decided to go ahead and do a bit of a change. Instead of his usual brown tweed suit and bow tie, he decided to pick up a gray suit with a black bow tie.
Also tweed.
It looks somewhat fashionable, at the very least. Some nice shoes, cufflinks, a watch. Using the magical rectangle.
I don't even know who's
I imagine we've evolved beyond just using the magic rectangle, but we have decent funds by now, so we can afford better clothes. That is me.
I imagine Aquila is wearing some sort of like dress shirt and dress pants. Nothing, no like full suit or nothing crazy like that. But
A tie or no tie?
no tie. A couple buttons undone.
Okay.
Lazy. Alice is wearing a black shift with some red peeking out. It's a shift like to the hip, and then has a like a tulle skirt that's very, very full and is mostly black. The bodice is black, but there's some red peeking out of a couple spots on the tulle skirt, and over the plain black top, which is like a satin material, there is some lace that is, if you look very closely, is like skulls or something dark and macabre like that, with a few faux rubies, like red rhinestones kind of things, sewn into the lace for sparkle.
Okay.
And like 4-inch heels.
Nice.
Max is wearing a charcoal gray suit that has every 17th thread is heather, but only he can tell that, so no one else can see that really.
Exactly.
With a necktie and a light striped shirt underneath this. Oh, actually a plaid if you look at it really close. His tassels also are moved to the left and the right on both of his loafers. No one else probably notices this, but he's aware.
Nice.
Have we stunned? We've stunned the GM.
We broke Tyler.
I think he's frozen.
Oh, no, their internet is
Yeah, he's
busted.
frozen.
No, they're just being very
so they're
still.
both going
Frozen.
off of it.
I was gonna say,
They're
Let's see-
stunned.
Oh,
Hey,
they're
there
back.
we go.
I was gonna say
Uh-oh.
let's just continue to play the game and see if they start moving again. You're back.
Can't believe we defeated everybody. Huzzah!
hey, go on.
Yeah. My internet connection is unstable.
All right.
I have been infected by the Brenternet.
No.
And I
Well-
spread the disease.
Yeah, while you're gone, we won D&D, so there you go.
We are the slightly narrow band instead of broadband at this point, apparently. All right, so you guys managed to kind of come out of a hallway into a large kind of common area. There is clearly a party going on, waiters and waitresses walking around with platters of drinks, hors d'oeuvres across a little counter area, and these little pop-up tables with tight fitting black tablecloths with the like a party basically. Yeah, so people wandering around, various socialites, as you would assume of modern day London.
Well, thankfully, we're only social heavies, so there you go.
You do possibly remember you had asked where would be a good place to look for Gwen Lillian Arwen, and Trenton did tell you perhaps maybe the Rome or British exhibit in the West Gallery or the Wolfson Gallery, which
Right.
is the Roman Empire exhibit.
Is
So-
there an obvious museum map anywhere, like one of those big displays with lights behind it?
The "You Are Here" interactive kind of thing.
Exactly.
You could probably find one of those, but there's not one directly where this party is being held.
Can we tell by the decorations or any sort of signage what this party is for, or who's here?
You're not really sure who's here would be. Nothing looks, particularly standoutish about that. There's not really any signage. There is like a little stage area with a microphone where someone will probably make some sort of speech or talk. But this seems to be just like a hors d'oeuvre social time of it where they are kind of all talking and so forth. Would you like to kind of like listen into some conversations and kind of as you intermingle into the
I think we spread out to see what we can figure out. Yeah, among the minglers.
Yeah.
Is there anybody we recognize?
Why don't, let's see here, Father Lucius and trying to see here. Yeah, everybody give me a wits and awareness test.
I'll do it.
Ooh, I
Don't
get to
forget
use out
that.
my new skill.
What skill would that be?
I took a dot in awareness because I didn't have any.
Oh, yeah.
So this probably didn't help much, but hey.
Okay.
Ooh,
Oh,
Hey, well,
Aquila.
Wow. Aquila swinging.
Go, dude.
Dr. Henry, 6 of 2.
Got 2 of 2.
Okay.
I think Aquila's just aware of how the universe works in this game. So it's just,
Enlightenment comes from within, my friend.
So you guys are wandering through, or what have you. Dr. Henry, you have seen one of the waiters before. He looks extremely familiar to you. He's, of course, wearing a black apron, a little black chef's hat with a little white library pin on it. And he is, of course, serving drinks and so forth. And give me a intelligence. And let me grab a character sheet here. I feel I've already lost my my way. Reverting to Cthulhu all of a sudden. Let's do intelligence, and I'll let you pick. See something you remember.
Investigation or medicine?
I'll let you pick. Well, medicine maybe not,
Yeah, okay, it didn't make much sense.
but
We'll go
yeah,
with
from a like to recall something you would have seen or where you might have seen him previously.
Hey, Onyx Path is raiding us. Hide your booty.
Hell yeah!
What's that mean?
That means they're here and they're watching you.
Hello, Onyx Path.
Hello, Onyx Path.
Sweetness.
Oh, I
Sweet.
see you're raiding.
Yeah.
Or that kind of raid, not rating. Got
Yeah,
it.
yeah. They're on Google right now, just like
Onyx Path.
Hence my confusion.
Ooh.
Give it a 7, but I can't dance to it.
So, ooh.
If it's the Onyx Path, they help rate vampire stuff. Or did.
Really?
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for coming, guys. Appreciate it.
Good old,
Okay.
good old days of World of Darkness. I was a big fan.
Yeah. Okay. What did you, Mr. Roll there? 3 successes of 2. That will be enough, sir, to go with your 6 successes that you rolled earlier, because this was just the intelligence thing to see if you remembered where you saw him for. And you saw him when the agents raided in the very beginning. This man is an Operation Antigen agent.
Oh.
For sure.
So I'll go to Father Thorn and very discreetly take you aside.
I think I'm
He does not seem to make any eye contact with you whatsoever.
So mid conversation with some random person, and yes, doctor. Please excuse me. What is it, doctor?
I very discreetly kind of like say over my left shoulder there is a waiter. When we were waking up, I recall him. He's one of those Project Antigen agents.
Here?
I remember him quite clearly.
So,
do you reckon there may be more? This entire party may be under observation.
That's unfortunate. It would seem odd for him to come by himself, wouldn't it?
Highly unlikely. Obviously, the waiter job is just a cover. In fact, who knows how many of the organizing staff are.
I sort of nod as if I'm Byron, as if I'm getting some kind of like, yes.
Sure.
We should fan out and let the others know before this escalates, eh?
I'll talk to Lady Catherine.
Yes, Lady Catherine, you're standing there talking. There's a server that comes over, a very young blonde woman. She goes, "Oh, you do look fabulous." She says, "I love your dress." She says, "Would you like some Cristal, possibly?"
Oh, thank you. I would love some. And as I take it, I don't know if I assume she's just holding out the tray.
Yeah, she's holding out the tray.
Yes. Do the little like lingering and take that from take it from her. Does she have a name tag or anything sort of thing?
Julia.
Julia. That's such a beautiful name. How did you get to be on this staff?
Oh, it's a outside function.
Can I do what is it called? Can I do a insight detect lies?
Sure.
I don't know what else that would be with that, but like intelligence or wits? Maybe?
Yeah, wits.
Or charisma? No, wits is really fine.
Not charisma.
And let me add one because I have lies. Tell me lies. Tell me sweet little lies. 2 out of 2.
Okay. She seems to be telling the truth.
Ah.
Nothing that seems outside of the norm for her conversation.
I was wondering. I was invited to this party by one of the guests. What are we celebrating?
Oh, she says it's a fundraising event.
Oh, of course. Any particular part of the museum that they need help with, or just in general?
just in general, but a lot of these people are in support of the Roman exhibit.
Oh, that sounds very exciting.
Those two gentlemen over there are very knowledgeable about the exhibit itself.
Oh, those two are very knowledgeable.
You see two gentlemen wearing one's wearing like a silver suit with it's very, very very fine pinstripes in it, and modern day British style, but high end.
They are very knowledgeable. Would you happen to know if they are also very rich?
The one is for sure. Has an antique Aston Martin.
Oh my goodness. That sounds amazing. My brain, I'm like, I don't know if I know what that is. That's okay, because we were in the 40s. I don't know when they were made. Julia, thank you so much. You have been such a delight. I will be keeping my eye out for you for some more crystal when I need it.
Absolutely. I will be available when necessary. Alice, you kind of are wandering by, and you see these two gentlemen, the one of I just described to Lady Catherine, and the other gentleman, and they're kind of pointing at you, and they seem to be talking in kind of a very, I'll say, academic way, like they're discussing something. Not laughing at you or something like that, or making fun of you, but they seem to be having some sort of educational conversation in regards to you and somehow.
If I look at them and try to make eye contact, how do they respond?
The one responds very appropriately. He makes eye contact with you and kind of hints that maybe you should come over that way.
I do so. I will walk over in a very confident manner and beam a smile at them and say, not flirtatiously, but kind of not really commandingly, but assertively, confidently, what's catching your attention, gentlemen?
He's like, look, Philip, she even strides with the confidence of someone of that stature. And he says, look, I'm telling you, spitting image. He's like, come here, young lady, if you would. Oh, I do apologize. What a horrible way to introduce myself. My name is Baxter Harrington. And he said, I am a professor of Roman anthropology here in Britain.
Charmed.
And he says, my compatriot, this is Philip Jardin. He is from France, but he also professes along beside me here at the University of Cambridge.
Gentlemen, it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. What do you mean? What
he
are
says,
your
here. They'll pull you over. Said, if you would not mind. He's like, come here, this way, and
okay.
And he says, okay,
I follow
Philip.
them.
And he says, I'm telling you, she looks exactly like her. And they take you over to this statue, and it's a statue of a woman wearing with long hair, wearing some sort of dress, praying to a sun, like a sun artifact that's in her hand, not a sundial, but like an artifact or a tablet in the shape of a sun. And the first thing you realize is she looks exactly like you.
Is it me?
And you look at the little card that is in front of it, because it is in fact a display, and it says Handmaiden of Mithras.
Could be me. Tell me more about this piece. What a striking resemblance indeed.
Yes,
tell
that's
me more
what
about
I'm
this
saying.
piece.
This is a statue. It is from 20 CE, and it is a statue that was, we thought it perhaps just a descriptive statue, but one of the Handmaiden of Mithras, the Roman god and such, the god of the sun. Are you related to him in some way? Perhaps.
Related to a god? I wish.
And Philippe says, "Oh, she does walk that way, like you'd think she's related to a god."
I wish that I were. Tell me more about this Mithras and his handmaiden. Are there stories?
Oh, well, I'm not sure of the stories exactly, but yes, I mean, he was very popular in this area. And of course, there's still artifacts of him. Rumor has it there was even an area of prayer, a temple, shall you say, within a short distance of the Thames River here in England, in London. Of course, it's never
Here?
been found, but yes.
How fascinating. How fascinating.
Unfortunately,
Are there rumors about the location?
I mean, somewhere near the Walbrook River, I believe.
That's very interesting.
Not too far from here, really. But unfortunately, so much of London was destroyed during the bombings in World War II.
Of course, a tragedy.
Yes. But we are here to celebrate and bring life to these exhibits. Do you fashion yourself as a historian of Roman?
Oh, not at all. Not at all. More an aficionado of the arts.
What do you do for a living, if I may ask?
I'm an independent woman of independent means.
Oh, yes. I see why you walk with such confidence. Are any of your friends here? Or are you single?
I am here with several friends. I am not attached to any man in that way, if that's what you're asking. But I'm not here for that purpose either.
A shame.
Allow me to introduce you to my friend over here, though.
I'm not here for that purpose.
I couldn't resist, sorry.
However,
Yeah. Aquila
Yeah.
and Father Lucius and Max, you guys kind of see Lady Catherine talks to a waitress, and then of course Alice is talking to a few gentlemen over by a statue. What are you guys doing as you wander around?
So I would be looking for Max as soon as possible because we were going to spread out and inform our companions that there are agents here.
Okay. Sure. You can make eye contact with him. Where would Father Lucius find Max amongst this party?
So Max is definitely going to be hanging out with the glitterati. So wherever the glitterati is most intense, he's a ducky shinecracker. You know this, right? I mean, he always has been, and always will be.
Okay.
So I would approach, said, like the glinting of the light off of all this glitter and nonsense is almost blinding, but I would walk up almost as if I had no reason. I just kind of casually bump into him. Dreadfully sorry.
Oh, Father.
We're being watched. There are agents here.
Watched? Well, of course we mean watched, but agents?
Yes.
I sort of freeze, like I was about to look around, but then I don't. But what do you mean, agents?
One of the waiters apparently is the. Remind me. I'm sorry. I'm just tired. It's been a long day. What the hell were they called again, Byron?
Project
Antigen.
Thank you. The Project Antigen agents that we saw upon waking.
God, those rookies here?
Well,
I sort of try to look over and see. Do I recognize anybody?
No, you wouldn't have saw him.
I'll
You were
press
around.
past him.
You
by the
were
way, Byron.
you were asleep.
All right. I'll be sure to mention it to anyone else I see. Do you think that they're after us, or you think they're just here in general?
I'm not sure, but if there's one, it's likely that there are others. So we should keep an eye out. It is possible that they followed us here, or that they're after the same quarry as we are. I am so sorry to have bumped into you, sir.
Did you say that to Max?
Yeah, and I pressed past you,
Okay.
trying not to linger too long to kind of give them something to put together. Although we didn't wake together, right? So you wouldn't have been part of the fiasco that they witnessed.
Correct. Which
So
is why
that's
he
good.
does
That's
it.
good. Yeah. So I try not to let them make that connection.
Mm-hmm.
If I see anyone else nearby, I might mention it to them. Otherwise, I'll just try and keep a lookout for any sort of help that I think looks a little too astute.
Sure. What is Aquila doing?
I imagine I would be more on like the outskirts of the group, looking at like the actual like museum artifacts and things like that.
There are a few artifacts here that are from the Roman era, but this is not the actual like exhibit.
Okay.
So you'll see some stuff, some masks and bottles, very old things. You do see a very sleek statue that, as you look across and see it there are two very finely dressed gentlemen speaking with Alice over there by it.
I'll head over that way and just kind of listen in, not butting in or anything like that. But
Sure. As you get closer and you actually see the statue itself, it looks exactly like Alice. And as you look at the card, it says Handmaiden of Mithras.
I look at him. I watch his face as he's looking at the card.
There's so when did it's gonna be surprising.
It's shocking, is it not?
It is a truly remarkable resemblance.
I almost want to figure out who the model is to see if there is some connection.
Plus, you might know her. Just maybe. Dr. Henry, as you're kind of watching and occasionally glancing over that direction to the security guard or the waiter, you notice he speaks with a security guard for a brief moment, and there was a kind of a small blonde woman carrying a serving platter also that is over that general area, and the three of them together. Okay, go ahead.
I'm going to go seek out my remaining compatriots and try to usher us towards the Roman exhibit. Because I think that we've been made at this point. I'll tell them as much. So if I find Aquila and Alice, I'm gonna.
You see Aquila and Alice kind of talking together. You saw Father Lucius speak with Max. You didn't see anyone necessarily speak with Lady Catherine, though. But you do remember seeing Lady Catherine speaking to the same server a few moments ago.
If I don't see Lady Catherine, I'm going to start with Aquila. So while you're looking at the statue, Aquila, Dr. Henry approaches and says, "That is
truly remarkable piece of art, isn't it?"
Like this.
Yeah, I love that. You're like, that is, and you're like, truly remarkable.
Truly remarkable, correct? Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I'm presuming it's actually a rendition of her.
It's possible.
I think it's more possible.
It's probable.
I make as though I'm looking very intently at this in interest, and I whisper to you, Aquila, Project Antigen is here. The blonde waitress and the other waiter talking to the security guard.
I'm gonna try to locate them in the crowd. Just kind of like glancing around, like actually turning back to the party now to like look at him.
You see them; they're standing together, kind of talking. They're kind of discussing.
We need to dispense with our business here as quickly as possible. I'm quite sure that the male waiter recognized me, and now everyone I talk to is also going to get noticed as well.
Yes. So now we're all under suspicion.
There was no other choice. After all, I'm not going to go down without
Yes, yeah.
But
I'm gonna activate my unswayable mind ability. It just makes it harder to influence me mentally. It just adds my fortitude to my difficulty.
It's the power of stubbornness.
the power of stubbornness.
Yes.
I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to activate Unseen Senses Vision. And
Yeah, I'm gonna do sense the unseen.
yeah, that's what I'm going to say.
Isn't it all obvious to Max who the host or hostess of this party is? And is she part of the masquerade?
You wouldn't know that.
Okay.
You wouldn't be able to necessarily tell if someone's a vampire or not unless you have some ability that allows you to determine that.
I'll keep a lookout for secret handshakes or secret signs. So
Sure.
if I
Give
can,
me a wits and awareness.
wits and awareness. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what did it roll? Did it come up?
No, not yet. You got to do the modifiers and stuff in the window behind it. If you get your character sheet popped out, the modifiers pop up behind it.
It did, and I answered them. Sometimes it takes a second. Let me try it again.
Oh, wow.
No,
There it
finally
goes.
did it. That was a record.
You had to jam one behind it to push it through. It was fine.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Nothing appears from your cursory glances and watchings at this moment.
All right. I'll wander up to Lady Catherine. Is she?
Huh?
Is it readily? Are you readily visible? Can I see her in the room?
Yeah, everybody's pretty much readily visible with a glance.
I say, I know that 4 out of 5 parties are really in your honor, but this particular one, do you think you know who the hostess might be? Let her know that there are Project Antigen plants in her party, because I mean, I'd hate anything untoward to happen.
Ooh. From what I've heard, I don't know if our host is actually part of the masquerade. I don't know who the host is. I'm not sure if they're
What?
necessarily part.
I am shocked.
I've only been here for 2 seconds, so sometimes it takes a little bit longer. I was distracted by a waitress who apparently is an antigen agent. But this is a fundraiser for the Roman exhibits. Can I take a look around and see if I can just recognize by kind of the social flow who might be the host or perhaps the most important person in this room?
No one is seemingly the most important by what you could tell. The 2 rich gentlemen that Alice was talking to seem to be very well respected. A lot of people talk to them for a moment, introduce themselves. There's a lot of introducing going on along when people will come over to them. One introduces the other one to another, you know what I mean?
Okay.
I make significant eye contact with you, Lady Catherine, as you're scoping out the room. And
Okay.
I indicate with my eyes, kind of point at those 2 gentlemen with my eyes. And I'm hoping that you infer that they are people that I think you would enjoy meeting.
Okay.
And I intentionally did not introduce them to her because I recognize that she enjoys the predatory part of this hunt, and so I'm going to allow her.
She enjoys the hunt.
Yes.
I do enjoy the hunt. So
This is a gift. This is a gift to you.
Alice, the only thing you missed was Henry did come over and inform you about the Project Antigen. I don't know if you got that, so I wanted to make sure you were
Okay. Thank you. We'll just be careful for now, I think.
Yeah, I will make my way over to them. I'm sorry, and they're finished talking with Alice, correct?
Yeah, they're talking to Alice, and then they kind of move over talking to someone else. They're in that general zone, but
Okay.
they're
Um.
occasionally, as they talk to people, they point at Alice, and then they point at the statue.
Okay. This is gonna sound ridiculous. How is the statue dressed?
The statue's dressed like a shift, like a dress.
Okay, so but it would be in that Roman style, so you have like all of the curves and whatnot.
Correct.
Okay. So I'm going to go up and obviously not notice these two men at all at first. And
She's so wicked.
and then just go up and almost touch the breasts of the statue and then turn around like, oh, are we allowed to touch? She's just so beautiful. How can you keep your hands off of her?
The French
Am
guy
I
kind of
close enough
laughs.
to hear her say that?
Unless you moved away, you are.
I haven't really.
Yeah.
If I could blush, I would.
You can. You can just blush of life. You can, in fact.
I'm not blushing for her benefit. No.
Okay.
No.
But I am sorry. Am I allowed to touch? I'm having trouble just keeping my hands off of it. It's so beautiful.
Byron's deep in thought
I
or
think I might have
frozen.
made
Wait, no,
Byron
he's
No,
back.
He's
I
imagining
apologize.
that.
I was
He's
reading
imagining
Jason's.
that.
I was reading Jason's chat message.
Oh
there,
yeah,
so-
no, I was just in the margins. I didn't want to interrupt, and you you were buffering.
I don't have a chat open, so I have to like look at the notification to see what it says. I'm sorry. What did you say, Chantal?
No, just more weird flirtation as it is.
Okay.
But
She's feeling up my statue. She wants
not
to feel up my
like-
statue.
I know not to touch unless I've been told I can. So I'm looking to these two men for permission, I guess.
They don't seem to be stopping you.
Yeah, a hot lady vampire wants to caress a female statue. Don't see a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, fuck antiquities. Who cares?
Father Lucius. Oh, go ahead. Say one more time.
No. I just wanted to like kind of find out who they were, and as we are hand fucking the statue, I don't know what it's actually going to be, but you know, that sort of
Oh
thing.
my God.
Father Lucius.
Are you blushing
Still gonna
now,
get
Alice?
censored.
How about now? How are you
Shit,
feeling?
I've never been hand fucked at a party before.
I'm sorry.
Did you say
Anyway,
I'm
sorry, let's go
sorry?
to Father Lucius. Sorry, let's go to Father Lucius.
Father Lucius, you've been
I
watching
am
all
not
this stuff like that.
hand fucking anyone. I will have you know.
I imagine.
Not yet.
Yeah,
I
yes.
imagine right now, like Dr. Henry and Father Lucius just kind of look at each other and just kind of nod in agreement at how absurd this is.
Yeah, so I think I try to post in a place kind of away from Dr. Henry. He's also aware. I don't know who he's spoken to, but I'm going to try to just observe these wait staff. Are they behaving differently to the others, or what?
They're kind of behaving differently to the others, yes, but they don't seem to be paying them any mind.
Are they
Yeah,
paying?
I was looking for. Go ahead.
Are they paying any of my friends any mind?
They don't seem to be watching anyone in particular in the party, just overall in general, kind of watching both the party itself, the hallways, things of that nature. You could make a pretty good idea that they are unaware of any kindred presence here.
Really? Okay. Noted. So I'll having taken that in, I'll lower my guard just a little bit and allow myself to relax. But I'm not going to rejoin the group because, again, I don't want to. If one or two of them are made to see us all together, we won't have a chance to surprise these guys. Are they carrying around drinks?
Yeah.
I'm going to approach and ask for a glass of red wine.
Do you approach the woman or the male?
I think the woman.
Okay. She says, hello. How may I help you, Father? She goes, your collar is very interesting.
Yes, of course. It seemed interesting to spice it up for the occasion. I am so very famished from all this conversation and mingling.
An offshoot religion, perhaps?
I wouldn't call it that, no. No.
What would you call it?
I would call it faith. Might I? I retrieve one of her glasses of red wine.
Yes, absolutely.
You don't seem to be handing out many drinks, my dear. Is this a bad vintage?
Most of the patrons have gone for the Cristal.
Oh, I see. I don't have such expensive
I would expect
tastes.
one of your, yes.
So
That is
they've
a good
just,
vintage, though.
so unfortunately, they just have you wandering about, peddling the paltry, unacceptable swill, is it?
I wouldn't call it paltry or unexpensive swill.
I taste it.
In comparison to the rest of the stuff here, perhaps not.
It is actually quite good.
You get the idea that she doesn't know as much about the drinks as you would think she would.
Yeah, I would ask him, is this a Malbec? Does she stutter or just like pause to think for a second?
Yeah, she's like, no, I believe it's a Pinot Grigio.
Oh, is it then? I've not had one like this before.
Perhaps.
It's quite good. Quite good.
Yes.
I kind of look for any, no jokes, guys. I look for any bulges. I mean, she's wearing like the
Looking
vest
to see if
and
like she's
bow tie
wearing
stuff.
a vest or something.
Yeah, I'm just kind of glancing at, sort of try to be surreptitious about it, but looking for like any weapon bulge or anything like that.
You don't see any.
Okay.
You gonna feel her up, Father?
You see some curves.
Get her down.
You see some curves, but none that look bad.
I would, taking another sip again of this red wine, I would say, thank you very much for this exquisite and unique Pinot Grigio.
You're welcome. Do you are you a patron of the arts or just simply here in a
God gifts artists with such fantastic talent, and you can't go unappreciated, of course.
It's true, but most of these people gift the arts with their finances.
Well, perhaps they do.
The church investing in art?
Oh, hardly. But there are some, of course, who invite people just to enjoy events like this.
Yes.
There are many
True
who attend the church for reasons other than political ones.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Do you often ask such questions, financial questions of guests of events like this? It seems a bit unseemly for waitstaff. If you don't mind.
I was just concerned. I was just thoughtful of the matters and of, if you were a patron of the arts, that's all.
Sadly, no. I'm not a man of means, as you can see from my taste in Pinot Grigio. I smile, and I give her this kind of knowing smile. I don't mean to do it, but it just comes out. And I sort of, have a good evening.
Always.
Make my way away from the group, and don't look back like...
Yeah, she'll cycle away back to some other guest.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, cat.
So, Byron,
Yeah.
did I formally ask you if I know anything about this statue or the reference that this sculpture is trying to make?
It looks like a reference, perhaps, of a prayer that you would have done. A lot of times, Mithras was presented as the sun god.
Right. But can I gain any specific insight that's relevant to our quest?
Give me what would that be? Like
Insight.
Yeah, insight, I guess. Yeah, wits and insight, or intelligence and insight. I always figure like wits is more to figure it out, intelligence is more like, do you know?
Which do you prefer? I mean, I'm fine with wits.
I'm good with whatever you roll.
I hope it's good.
I will let you.
It is good. Woo.
Sweet. 3 of 2. Boom, boom. Yeah, maybe there must have been a time when you were posing for like art and stuff like that. Someone of means must have seen you in a prayer. It's
So
quite yeah. So what makes you think that
That really
the
is
fact
me.
that it really is you. Yeah, the way that your hands are cupped around the sun are in a very specific ritualistic manner in this
Okay.
statue.
So I recognize me. Does it trigger any like flashback to having done this?
It doesn't.
Okay.
You might expect that it would, but it does not.
I'm going to play this off as if it were intentional. I'm going to adjust my clothing in whatever way I can to make it seem. I know I'm not wearing like Roman robes or anything, but I'm going to do whatever I can to make my attire seem more similar to what this figure is wearing in terms of attitude and position, and I will adopt a posture that is similar. If there is an object in the room that is roughly the same size and shape as the thing that she is holding, I'm going to hold it casually, and I'm going to just imply with my presence and position that I was placed here intentionally for my resemblance to this figure.
Okay.
Just to see what happens.
Sure. All right. You do get some oogles and some ahs and stuff like that. And some people are like, she's like, I believe she's playing with you, Philip.
If they come back up to me, I will converse with them.
They're not directly coming up to you, but you could hear them from far, from a good like 10, 15 feet away, talking about things and kind of
So
pointing
if
at
anyone comes up to me and confronts me about how similar I appear to the statue, I will tell them kind of an ambiguous story about Mithras and just reference it as lore. I don't want to make it very specific, but I will just speak of the mythology.
So, if I'm understanding you correctly, you're trying to play this off like kind of like Professor Lovecraft from Cleveland Concoction, how he looked exactly like Lovecraft, but he was doing in like Lovecraft's demeanor and stuff like that. Kind of like you're a stage actor or something, trying to come across as the reason you're here is as an exhibit yourself.
Yes.
Okay.
I want to see what kind of attention I can, kind of entourage I can kind of assemble with that.
You can get the majority of people looking at you relatively quickly within a few moments.
Okay.
What about Lady Catherine or Max? What are you guys doing?
Oh, how close are these fellows to me?
How close are who?
Baxter and Philip.
Not that far away. The whole room is maybe about like 25, 30 feet across.
Okay.
Maybe 30, 40 feet.
You know, the statue is just fabulous. How old is it?
It's from 20 CE.
From 20 CE. Oh my goodness.
Over 2,000 years old.
Over 2,000 years old. That's an amazing shape. Has it always been here, or was it recently found?
It was found here, yes. And amongst the old Roman statuaries and so forth.
Oh, found here in England.
Yes.
Oh. So, I guess, where will it go if it's going to be staying here full time?
We will go to the Roman exhibit just down the hall. Care for me to show you?
Oh, I would love to take a tour of the exhibit with you.
Yes, he puts his arm out.
I will take it.
Okay. And the two of you walk off.
Wait, which one? Baxter or Philip?
Baxter.
Okay.
The Englishman, not the Frenchman.
Okay. And
the one wearing the more expensive suit.
Oh, excellent.
As Max looks at the statue and sees the hands sort of encased in the sun, remind me what I remember of Mithras, if anything.
Only what you may have remembered. I don't.
That's what I was trying to get a
any.
refresher.
I don't believe you've had any flashbacks or anything of them.
Okay. I look at the statue and try to remember something, but I fail. Boy, that sure does look like Alice. Interesting. Does that mean that Alice is 2,000 years old? I'm just thinking to myself.
Yeah, that's the question I was wondering too. Holy crap.
It's that cover girl, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Easy breezy.
I was born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline.
I will keep an eye out for where Lady Catherine went, just in case, and if I hear any ruckus or think there's any need for cover. But otherwise, I will just focus for a minute on the statue and see what I can recall.
They seem to be like they're going to be walking down a hall and into another area of the museum. So if you're going to keep an eye on them, you have to follow them.
Do we were there any time pressure for us to accomplish our mission in finding this woman or this person?
Daylight tends not to agree with you.
Well, what time of night is it? I guess I'll look at my watch. How much nighttime do we have left?
It's only about like 10, maybe.
Okay, so night is young. I don't want to cramp Lady Catherine's style. So if they're going a bit far away, I'll just hang with the statue.
Okay.
I'm going to break away from the main group and kind of from very far behind follow Lady Catherine down to the actual exhibit.
Okay.
And make my way that way.
Okay. What about Dr. Henry?
I am going to stay within sight of Father Thorn. Because I know that Catherine is going to work her wild, as will Alice. And so the way I figure it is that me and Father Thorn appear to be keeping an eye on the Project Antigen people for the benefit of everyone else. So if I see that one of the Project Antigen people seems to be following Lady Catherine, I will follow as well. But I'll keep them in my sight. Continue to talk with people about the affairs of the gala.
So you do see one of the security guards kind of splits off and walks that direction towards the hall where Lady Catherine and Aquila and Baxter went.
Okay. If I saw that Aquila followed, then I'm comfortable with that because I know Aquila can handle one measly security guard.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye on the waitress and the other waiter as well. Just see if they are trying to make any big moves.
Sure. Like I said, nothing in their demeanors makes you think that they have any inkling that there's kindred here. Just sit there on the lookout for them.
I would make my way past the exhibit once the rest of my companions have left it so that I would have the similar experience, I guess, and understand what they were huddled around. Because as far as I know, they're kind of over there clustered and looking at this thing, right?
Yeah.
I'm giving speeches.
You're still there giving speeches. I sort of
stories.
kind of come around to the exhibit and tuck back against the wall and just observe. Anything interesting about those listening to her oration at all?
I'm distracting as many people as possible to allow you guys to be more observant.
Okay. Yeah.
What are people's responses to my storytelling?
Oh, they're just like they're living it up, man. They're absorbing the shit out of it. They're loving it.
Okay, good.
I would obviously notice
you
the
definitely
similarity
have.
between the statue and Alice. Does this strike me in any way at all, or is it just like, oh, look at that?
It's uncanny. It looks like you could tell that Alice is attempting to use it as some sort of like tool to say that she's an actress or someone planted here to recreate, perhaps.
I have inserted myself into the party.
Let's sort of move on. If there's nothing particularly interesting going on there, I kind of look it over. If it doesn't strike me in any way from our past, or if it's just like, oh, look, it looks like Alice, handmaiden. Huh.
How could we figure out what the actual age of this thing is?
You would assume what you're looking at on the card is probably the actual age of it.
But I'm not that old, so it can't be of me.
Are you that old?
Not that we know of. If we've been put to sleep once, who's to say it could have been done millennia before now? Who's to say what?
I've been filling out my HR forms completely wrong all these years.
So, Lady Catherine, as you and Baxter are making your way, you walk through a temporary exhibit of Victorian jewelry. And there is a woman there, a very brunette but pale skin, with vibrant green eyes. And she's wearing a purple dress. And she is eyeing some of the jewelry and the displays and stuff. You have not seen this woman before.
I have not seen this woman before.
You have not seen her.
Okay. I mean,
her fingernails are like two sharp points, and they're like the same color as her dress. She's eyeing an exhibit of a black, those black stands that they put the necklaces and stuff on, the display stands. And there's some earrings and stuff. And there is a beautiful pendant on a diamond and silver necklace, and also a diamond and silver charm with a large sapphire in the middle of it. And when you see it, you instantly remember it.
Is that mine?
It was given to you once. By your lover.
I am just immediately drawn to it. To take a look at it. Baxter, please, could we take a look at this first? This is.
Oh, yes. He says, I love that for you. I'm just kidding.
Yes. I'd love it for me too. Oh shit. And started out of sprawn. I'm just like, that's my necklace. That's mine.
Yes.
I'm going to talk to the woman and say, like, isn't that just the most stunning necklace you've ever seen?
It's quite beautiful. I don't know if I would call it the most stunning one I've seen.
It seems to be perhaps more of a gift of love than anything else. Does it have anything on the card? Any information?
It just says that it's an old necklace. It doesn't say anything in regards to it specifically. It just says Victorian age jewelry.
What is? I didn't realize that people were allowed back here. I mean, I'm here with the professor, of course.
Oh, yes. She says I wander from time to time. Spend a lot of my time here at the museum.
Oh,
More lately.
Really? And you said there's no way that we can tell if people are kindred or not, correct?
Unless you have some ability that allows you to do that.
I don't know if I or not.
I have one of those.
Give them a good smell. Nice Black Agents. That was better. Can we just have that? Can we?
I'm so sorry. You look so.
I didn't mean to do that.
Stunning. What is your name?
She says Gwen Lillian. My friends just call me Lillian.
Lillian, such a beautiful name. You know,
a few moments. You haven't been there that long because Aquila pretty much followed you right out. So Aquila comes kind of walking in. Tyler, do you remember? Did you hear what I said, or do you need me to repeat?
No, I heard you. It's the lady we're looking for, I think.
Yeah. No, I just wanted to make sure that you had heard what I was describing.
I think that I may actually have some business with you if you would be interested in finding a place to talk.
Yes, perhaps. She says, we could go this way. And she points to a way off into the Roman exhibit. She says, are there others with you, perhaps? And Baxter says, oh, I see you've met a friend.
I have.
Oh. He says, I'll let you two catch up. And he's like,
you know what,
back.
Baxter?
Let me get us some drinks.
Why don't you wait for just one moment? And I want to, let me see. It would compel me. Pretty much, I want to make sure that he cannot tell anyone that the two of us have seen each other, that the two of us are together. I mean, that Lillian and I are together.
Okay.
I don't know what that would be. Compel?
Cloud memory.
Cloud memory.
I don't have cloud memory. So I just want him not to like physically be able to tell anyone or say that we are together.
Compel him not to say anything.
Yes.
Yeah, you could say don't say anything.
You'd have to just phrase it weirdly. Yeah. You could compel him not to.
So why don't we, we have a little bit of girl talk to commence. I would love it if you could just keep that between us and not tell anyone else about this.
Yes, I do believe it is about time for me to find the men's room anyway.
Nice.
So, he's like, I shall be back, perhaps with some drinks.
That would be wonderful. Thank you, Baxter.
He makes his way off like down a little hallway, like he knows where he's going, because he does. All right. And what about the others of you? Back at the main room.
I believe it's time for me to rejoin Aquila and Catherine, seeing as how and seeing what they're up to.
I would follow Banshir from the other side, just kind of make my way whatever direction he's going.
Max staying there or follow him?
Do I see any of this, or am I just clueless?
You would see him. Only like a 30-foot room, unless you're just standing in the corner like a dunce.
I'll adjust my tie, try to look nonchalant, and follow.
Okay, yep. So you guys make your way down that way. Let's see. A few moments after Aquila enters the thing, the security guard just kind of walks by and he just kind of makes his way down a little side room. He's like, shit, they stopped. And he just makes his way down like a little side hallway, like he's patrolling the thing. As you all walk into, or as you catch back up and walk into the exhibit on Victorian jewelry, you kind of feel a little lightheaded, and then you find yourselves in Londinium, 240 CE, a small piece of Rome in the uncivilized British lands. You experience, let's see here.
Is this a diorama?
No, it's not a diorama. It's a flashback in your brain.
Okay.
Yep. You see yourself walking beside a person, kind of talking to them. At first, their words are gibberish and so forth. Dr. Henry, it's just you and this other individual walking side by side. As you're walking down the thing. And at first, like I said, he's just talking in what seems to be gibberish and stuff. And then you realize he's talking in Latin and that you speak it.
Oh.
Even though you don't remember speaking it. And his words are, yes, we must go this way. We must talk to Mithras. And he says, come, Augustus. And he calls you Augustus. let me keep in mind also here, let me explain to the entire group. Each one of you sees yourself the same as Dr. Henry, the only person walking next to this person who is talking to them. You're all experiencing the exact same memory as if you are Augustus.
Oh, so we're called the same given name.
But not seeing each other.
Huh.
You're not seeing each other. You're just seeing you and a thing. So like you're looking at a memory from the first person.
Do I think this is a blood memory? Don't know.
Would you have some way of telling?
So I'm seeing the big cheese, who was real aces in the rumpus and the night owls, and a big
I
chunk
don't know
of
what
blood.
that even means.
I'm using my 1930 slang. I'm from the 1940s.
That's cool.
All right. So basically, it's the big guy we've been looking for, correct?
No.
Oh no. Okay. So what can you want to describe the facial features, or would I recognize this person again?
You don't recognize them.
Can you describe their facial features so that if I happen to see a painting of them, I might recognize them?
They're old Roman.
Blonde hair, black hair, like
Brown hair.
Mode of dress. Are they in armor?
dress.
Yeah, they're in Roman era dress.
Distinctive nose, small lips.
Both of those.
Small
things.
nose. Yeah. I mean, that pretty much describes Roman male.
Okay, but
There's no standout features that would cause you to remember him, is what I'm trying.
Not necessarily that, but if I saw them again somewhere, like on a painting or a stone or something, I might recognize them.
Yeah, probably. If you do.
Okay, so if we encounter him,
Mhm.
there's a chance you could recognize
There's a chance you could recognize him again, yeah.
Is
Go
he
ahead.
wearing any jewelry or anything grand on him?
There's nothing about him that is going to stand out. It's just
Okay.
But I've already told you. That's all you're getting.
Okay, all right, okay.
That's all there is. Like,
He's calling us Augustus.
yes, he's calling you Augustus.
Okay. So there we are, each individually walking, having our solo experiences with him.
Yep. Even though it's like, so you're all just seeing yourselves as the same thing, but you're kind of sharing this memory amongst yourselves, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
I'll whisper to myself, Aquila, can you hear me?
Wouldn't that be whispering to Aquila?
That's whispering to myself, I said. Aquila, can you hear me? Like I was in a room with Aquila and Dr. Henry a moment ago. Now, I'm sorry. Do I realize that do I just remember myself being in Roman times, or do I know I was just in a room like a moment ago in the museum? Have I forgotten that?
You kind of got lightheaded, and now this is what you see.
Oh, okay.
This is your existence.
Okay, gotcha. Sorry.
You don't feel like you're having a flashback. You feel like this is you're existing in this moment.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right. Maybe we should just relax into this experience and see where the flashback takes us.
Yeah, obviously we're going to try to see where it ends.
Yeah.
On autopilot.
I'll wait for Jason to go next so you didn't. This might be a good opportunity to take a bio break.
Oh.
Yep.
Just occurs to me the way this is framed in the stream, it looks like pretty horrible. This is a dog, guys. This looks like I was rifling around in my pants or something.
As you will.
I mean,
I do what I want.
we're used to that.
Yep.
Men of a certain age.
At least now I'm not alone.
He leads you down a long stone hallway and up to a windowless vaulted building above ground that allows kind to worship Mithras.
Oh.
The temple is long and narrow with low walls separating the central space from two side passages. The builders began construction at the back, where currently an empty apse waits to receive a mural to Mithras, and are working on their way in front, which holds the only door. So they seem to be building this as you are walking through it.
Is it mostly a stone structure?
It's what you can see. Yeah.
Okay.
As you are encountering this, you see yourselves overlooking a group of builders, inspecting their masonry and discussing the progress. A gentleman walks over to you individually, yet all as one. He exudes authority and power as he talks to you. He says, "Brother Augustus, how does this work go?" Did any of you answer him?
So, okay, so when someone of authority asks you a question, a leading question like that, it's going to inspire some kind of emotion. How do I feel? I'm like, ooh, am I? Or you know what I'm saying? You have that sort of dread to tell the truth. Like, we're a couple weeks behind,
Sure.
chap.
You can make an intelligence and craft roll if you would like.
That sounds fun.
And craft?
Correct.
Individual ability
What is
of
that? Correct.
Craft?
So since I'm not me, does anybody else have craft? Can I use your crafts?
Nope. I have no craft.
All right,
Got
fine.
nothing.
Let's.
I have no craft, but
This
I have
isn't
lots
gonna
of
work out.
intelligence.
I'm gonna get a bestial
I'm full
failure.
of craft.
Difficulty?
Is it possible to get a bestial failure and murder
It
everyone in a
absolutely
flashback?
is.
All right, here it comes. 2 of 2.
I got 2 of 2.
No, wait, no, 1 of 2.
That's me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unhand my
Yeah,
success.
you jumped in. You
Unfortunately,
sort of jumped in ahead of me there,
difficulty is
Tyler. I'm
3.
sorry.
Oh,
That was,
our
uh,
difficulty
Oh,
is
I'm
three.
just kidding.
Bullshit.
Oh,
I figured since we were one consciousness right now, it was all of us who were rolling.
Yeah.
You can.
together
You can
and
all
all
roll.
together.
So let's all respond to him at the same time on the count of 3.
What?
Yeah, I just
Afterwards.
I don't know.
Of course, it's on time.
Yeah, there you go. Love it.
That's what my response. I'm like, we are ahead of schedule.
He says, "Show me to the
Oh
underground."
no!
Sorry, you can't really get a bestial failure on this. You're good.
Oh, Henry.
it
So
goes Mithras wills.
It occurs to you as you are walking that you're walking in the sunlight.
Whoa. Can you feel? Is it a
Yes,
vivid enough vision?
you
I can feel the warmth on my
the
skin.
Sun, the warmth on your skin. Yes. And the person that's speaking to you says, "Show me the underground Mithrium."
Maybe we should just wait here a little bit.
I'm sorry. What did he say?
He
I'm
says,
supposed to stay in the sun a little bit longer.
Underground Mithrium.
He says, "Show me the underground Mithrium." He's clearly talking to you as this person, Augustus. He takes you. You take him below. It consists of a second temple mirroring the one above, with a stone throne before the apse. So clearly, something is supposed to be put here that is some sort of secret way to go in this direction. Thick wooden support posts keep the ceiling up, yet even so, the mortal work crew struggles as pieces of rock continually fall down. How are you handling this problem?
I proceed to beat one of them viciously. To send a message to the rest.
Okay.
Oh,
So you realize that rock isn't crumbling because they're fucking up. It's because the structure itself is crumbling.
No, well, failure.
The structure is what? I'm sorry?
It's the way it's to where it's dug. This ground is unstable.
Oh.
So as he acts, so for like one of us declares an action, I assume we all just kind of experience it more or less.
do,
Okay.
correct.
I'm thinking.
As I beat him, because Dr. Henry beat him, most revered master, the construction of your magnificent temple to the sun progresses well, but I fear the stones in this area are not fit for this kind of excavation. The artisans and builders labor diligently, though, under our tutelage. Please forgive us.
This is the site you chose.
Indeed. Indeed it is.
Of
Or
course.
marble here is as white as the sun itself.
Are you saying you are not the person that should be in charge of this?
Anyone wants to jump in, feel free.
You done talked yourself into this now.
All right.
I'm
No,
gonna
no,
smack
no.
myself in order to be able to smack Max.
I say, ow.
Can I roll? I'm trying to figure out how to do this. I would like to survival. No. I was. What I want to do is use any of our knowledge from having been alive in the 1940s and the 2000s about architecture.
I use
Even
like
casually
academics.
So
to suggest a way to buttress this structure.
So while that is an idea, it occurs to you two things. Number one, the confidence and authority that he walked over to you with. And also, if you remember, they were talking upstairs about how you were walking with confidence and authority when you were walking towards the statue. And you think perhaps you could just intimidate him, or with a charisma check, pretty much roll to manipulate him into knowing, like, hey, buddy, we're dealing with this shit. Shut up.
How's your charisma?
We don't have charisma. I have persuasion.
I have 3 points of charisma.
Tell you what,
I've
Alice, if you want to move us physically, I will speak and with body language and use bluff and
don't seduce him.
charisma.
Please don't seduce him.
Please, all dudes, you all Roman dudes.
Please stop
Just start fingering a statue.
What is?
You want it up? That's all.
Yeah.
I do have some charisma. I have 3 points of charisma.
Okay.
I also have 3 points of charisma.
As do I.
As do I.
Okay.
Well, I'm not that special at all. God damn it.
So what would I be rolling here, Byron? Charisma and what?
You can roll charisma and pretty much whatever you want.
We all have
Intimidation.
3 in charisma, but none of us are Lady Catherine.
Intimidation.
That's true.
This is true.
Intimidation, leadership, etiquette. Any of those would work well.
I would
Academics.
assume in this flashback we can't use vampiric abilities, right?
Correct.
Damn.
Can I do
leadership?
persuasion?
I'm afraid I didn't catch both of you at the same time.
I was asking whether I could use persuasion and charisma.
Sure.
That's what I'm going to do. What's my
Difficulty 3.
my difficulty 3?
Mhm.
Okay.
Boom. Yeah. So you basically tell him, like, yes, I am the person that was chose to build this due to my intelligence and my ethics and also my knowledge. And you should just observe the master at work.
And I tell them to trust the process.
Trust the process, right? And you stop beating your slave, of course, at the same time.
And I do that thing that Alice thing where as soon as I stop beating him, I start stroking the slave in a very loving kind of way.
Yes. You invite him to stay and worship Mithras, and he just kind of swears it off and goes back upstairs. The flashback jumps slightly. You still find yourselves in the Mithrium, but now a god sits atop the throne. You struggle to remember the god's name. Is it Mithras? He is so potent that no mere name can contain him.
Mm.
It's
I fall to
impossible.
my knees.
It's impossible to see his physical form as he radiates power and light in a blinding brightness. An amalgam the Methuselah developed centuries ago. You feel an overwhelming urge to kneel and beg for forgiveness for sullying the god with your lowly presence.
I drop my head in reverence and reach out to embrace him in a virtually embrace him, not physically, but in a gesture.
Yeah.
As in the statue represented earlier.
Yeah, absolutely.
Does anyone resist this?
No,
doing
but
that.
am I in the temple? Where am I?
We're all in the temple.
We're all in the temple
And I
still.
assume all
Okay.
in one body, correct?
The
Still?
lower, the
Yes.
Mysterium, right?
We're in the lower part.
Byron,
Yeah.
Can we tell if it's night or day?
No, it's below ground.
Okay.
It was day when we came down. What?
Yeah.
But we
It,
jumped.
it jumped. So like it jumped.
It
so
jumped,
like
so we can't really tell.
you're not really sure when it could be 10 years later. You know,
Oh, okay.
Oh.
you have no idea. No sense of time or anything like that.
I will peek with an eye though. Can we make out facial features?
No, you can't see him at all.
Does he exude? Does
Just
the
right.
does the
All that
entity
part,
exude
yeah.
light like a sun?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't resist at all. I'm convinced for other reasons though, right? Yeah.
It's my
I-
Lord Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So does anyone
Just different
not kneel?
shoes.
I think we're all doing it.
I think we all kneel.
Yeah.
Byron,
Yes,
can we tell whether we are kindred at this time?
you cannot. You seem to be the same person still.
Okay.
Is it your viewpoint, the way your eyesight is and stuff like that? You could assume you're still the same person.
Okay.
You're
I am, given my relationship with Mithras, trying to dominate the group's interaction, whether I am aware that we are all one, and I must be because we've been fighting. But even if I'm not really consciously aware that we are all 6 individuals having the same experience, my experience here is very, very powerful, and my connection to him very strong. My desire to literally bask in his presence and his power is overwhelming, and I want to feel his power on my skin, on my face. Yeah.
As I feel that, I
I'm with you.
remember the words under my breath. May the sun god's favor continue to shine upon us.
okay.
I myself am not trying to use cheesy lines like that on Mithras.
Oh, dang.
I mean,
words from the light shine out to Varys, who is standing next to you. He says, "Come forward, my son." And he's like, "Tell us about the work of the Mithrium." Varys steps forward and seems to take most of the credit for his dutiful oversight of the project. And he does praise Augustus for his knowledge and work. Mithras gestures for Augustus to come forward. You could feel the sun's warmth without that usual sense of panic. Being this close to Mithras is as ecstatic experience as akin to feeding. Mithras dismisses you from his presence. Varys kisses him on his hand.
I bow deeply.
Okay. He seems to be having some sort of conversation with Varys as you guys begin to leave.
I walk very slowly away, not wanting to leave his presence.
Sure.
Catching your words as we go?
No particular words, but you do observe Mithras pull out a weathered-looking Phrygian cap. It matches the red cap adorned with a golden sunburst which Mithras currently wears, except the cap is plain with a rusted red color. "My son," as he speaks to the kneeling Varys, "this I trust to you. Keep it well. If you ever choose between saving yourself or the cap, save the cap." Varys weeps red tears as he thanks Mithras for this honor and swears to keep it safe. "Whom do you love more than me?" the son asks. Varys answers, "No one." "Whom do you love more than me?" the son asks again. warning in his voice so dire it chills all the way to the bone. Arcadius Augustus, Varus answers, now crying even harder. My lord, I beg your forgiveness. It is natural for a father to love his son above all others. Swear on your son you will keep this cap safe. And the night comes, you must choose between Augustus and the cap. At this, Varus hangs his head, and he says, I swear at my son, I will choose the cap. As the flashback kind of comes to an end, you're actually catapulted into yet another one. You stand at the bank of the Walbrook River. The sun overhead shines down brightly. You realize you're fine. You're just British people. Behind you lies the Mithrium, still mid-build, but further ahead than the previous flashback. You can make a intelligence and streetwise roll. Difficulty 4.
Oof.
There's no way.
Intelligence and street.
Yeah,
I might be able to pull that.
no way.
Always away.
It says streetwise and intelligence.
There's no way I can't make that at all.
You're not streetwise.
Ready for a
I
bestial
assume we have to
failure?
make it just because we have to
Difficulty
make it.
4.
5
You
successes.
don't have to roll.
Okay,
You don't have
good.
to roll. All right. Yep, you
5
made it.
successes.
You can't be steel failure, keep in mind. So
That's
you don't
why.
have to
That's
worry
why I'm
about
rolling. I'm
when
not
you can.
rolling unless you
Yeah,
force me to.
perfect.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
I'm not going to force you to, but you can. Okay.
I
So
mean,
that will
one
become
die and all of
important.
that.
That roll
I
will
made
become
it. I
important
made
at a
it.
later time. Okay. So you see the bright blue sky and the shining sun as it's overhead. You realizes that Mithras's light is pale imitation of the real thing. It almost makes the thought of Mithras being such a god heretical. An overseer named Julius orders you back to work, and you obey. The above-ground Mithrium is now completed. The windowless space is damp and claustrophobic like a cave. The workers need torches to see. The far side holds a relief of Mithras slaying a bull, which swings to the side to reveal the passage down. You descend into the underground Mithrium. The cavernous room is half finished. Bricks keep the first part of the vaulted ceiling aloft. The second part still relies on wooden support poles. You talk to the other workers, quickly learning that most of them are Britain slaves to the Romans. Arcadius Augustus treats them reasonably well, allowing them to remain with their families, granting them a day off every fortnight. After an hour or so of you working, the overseer sends you further down the passage behind Mithras' throne. The second underground level holds 2 adjacent rooms, the first empty, while the second holds a stone sarcophagus. The sarcophagus partially decorated with the scenes of Mithraic myth, one where Mithras sits at the side of the Sol Invictus during a great banquet, and another he rides the bull to exhaustion. The rest of you are set bricking the room with stones that are falling from the unstable ceiling. So you're kind of broken from that one view and kind of all individually as different people. Despite your best efforts, eventually the ceiling collapses on top of you all.
oh,
Just before you are about to die, as you begin to see life slip from them, one of you has a collapsed lung, another one bleeding out from a head wound. You desperately long to see the sun and sky again, Just before you die, someone lifts a slab of rock like it weighs nothing. The sun appears to them, bringing a light of mercy and compassion. Mithras lifts them carefully, handing you to a small group of kindred behind him. Marcus Verus, Arcadius Augustus, Gwenlilian Arwen, and Valerius, who
Did
you
you
may
write those in
remember.
the chat?
Kind of. One of you guys can if you want.
Would say it again, Byron, so I don't have to go back on
Marcus Verus,
spell the last. I'm sorry.
Verus.
Oh yeah, like it sounds. Okay.
Yep.
Arwen.
Arcadius Augustus, exactly like it sounds. And then Gwen Lillian, just like Gwen and Lillian. Arwen, Arwyn, and Valerius, Valeruis.
There you go.
Mithras bends towards the nearest person and bites their neck. The other vampires follow his lead. Arwen caresses your hair and says in British, "You serve the sun well. Go into the afterlife with honor. We will provide for your families. You feel that your life flow into the sun, granting you a blissful death." At that point, the flashback then jumps again to yet another flashback. This time, you see, go forward in time quite a while. You see Londinium grow and change around you. This is 22 years after Mithras assumed rule over the baronies of Avalon. You are looking at this as if you're looking through the eyes of Gwen Lillian. You stand at the entrance of the Mithrium, now nearly 1,000 years old. You have trouble seeing each other's faces, though each of you wears a sickle at your side. Intelligence and occult, if you want to make it, difficulty 4. Probably Aquila / Alice.
I'm
Got a-
scrolling.
Got a little bit of.
What's the
occult as well.
difficulty? 4, you said?
4.
Is it blood magic? If so, I get an extra dice.
Did you say
I'll give one. Yeah, I'll give you the extra.
occult and intelligence?
Yeah, occult and intelligence.
Nope.
How did I not make that?
I barely
not sure.
made it. I fucking like 9 dice.
Yeah. All right. So yeah. So Aquila makes it. So you remember that the sickle is an attribute of Perseus and Mithras' cult. You remember the cult separates the ranks into 7 steps to the sun, with Perseus being the 5th. Perseus 10 Mithras' garden, and by it overseeing his secular enterprises or guarding religious items. You also remember that Mithras selects some Perseus for a ritual called the blooding. But you were not chosen for this great honor. You instinctively know to open the secret latch behind the relief at this point, because you've seen it, where Mithras awaits on his throne. A scowling Marcus Verus kneels before the throne. The ceiling bears a relief of Mithras seated next to a Sol Invictus at a celestial banquet. The room smells heavily of mortal blood, though no kine are in sight. You immediately kneel upon seeing Mithras. "My daughter," he pulls you forward. Addressing you with a singular, you flashback briefly merges you into one body, and then your minds separate again. "Lord Varus serves me well, but I require him elsewhere for now. I have chosen you amongst all my faithful to take his holy charge from him." At this, Marcus Varus offers you the Phrygian cap. Both his body language and his facial expression hold resentment, as Varus clearly wants his child, Augustus, to receive the cap. You glean your own emotions. Resolve and insight.
Insight and intelligence.
Yep. Resolve and insight.
Resolve and insight.
Oh.
4 again.
Yep, 4 again.
I'm sorry. And you said insight and
Resolve.
intelligence?
Resolve, no intelligence.
Resolve. Okay,
Difficulty.
okay.
4.
Every time I think
got it
Brian,
again.
you're mispronouncing the word 2 every time you say
Am I?
4.
I'm
It's
so sorry.
it's 2.
It's
Would
2
I
and
be
then 2
able to
again.
have detect lies as part of that?
I don't think we can use
It's
that
not a
for
matter of
vampire
lies. And you
All
can't
right.
use your vampire powers right now.
I'm just trying.
A lie. This isn't going to really be a lie, so it wouldn't apply to this.
Eh,
All right.
I made it.
I think
So,
whatever
yeah.
body I'm occupying in
Just
this
tequila.
flashback is just wandering around
Right.
clueless. Alms for the poor.
Uh, you reveal both awe and loyalty, as well as fear and rebellious resentment. Mithras is a generous god, but he also is an oppressor who conquered your very lands and people. Gods do not require approval from their servants, only worship and obedience. You reach out for the Phrygian cap with a single hand, looking up to see Arwen's face reflected in each other's before merging into one body. The flashback ends. You appear back in the Roman Britain gallery. Modern day yourselves. Gwen Lillian watches you as you exit the flashback. It's almost like no time has passed whatsoever.
Does she seem aware that we've been away, or do we enter just kind of mid-step?
You see, like she's maybe, yeah. You
Yeah.
feel like maybe she may notice something. She's kind of watching you, like kind of
Yeah.
like paused, and then sexify. Especially since you know she's so old. You know, I mean, you clearly know that
Yeah.
you just saw a vision of her from like 1,000 years ago plus. And you are now in the Roman Britain gallery. You've moved past the Victorian gallery, and you see there is a clear glass case with a Phrygian cap in it.
Ah,
It's going to be very.
I go up to the case.
Okay.
and obviously we have no knowledge of modern security methods and lasers and pressure sensors and all this sort of stuff, right? So we just assume
we
just,
have no idea.
She says, "You may not want to touch that."
yeah. It seems
I hold my
you see
hands
you
out
see like
anyway.
you see like a weird like sensor kind of on the side of the box. She says, "It is keyed in ways that you would not understand."
well, perhaps you can enlighten us, for we intend to leave with it.
Oh, do you?
Indeed.
I'm afraid it is my charge.
It's a matter of propriety.
But you've brought us here. Certainly,
I
you didn't
have.
do it just to display your prize.
I have not brought you here. You have
Did we
come here
not
on your
just
own accord.
did we not just follow her back into the exhibit?
It was a flashback.
That's what
Oh,
That was a flashback where you were her.
I know. But she walked us back to this Roman exhibit, right? We followed her, I think. It doesn't matter. It
Kind
really
of. I
doesn't-
see what you're. I
yeah,
see what you're saying.
It
I
doesn't
see what
matter.
you're
It's
doing.
fine.
Yeah, I got you.
We're attempting to fulfill the will of Mithras, and we need your help in completing this. Please help us.
I do not know that you realize what you may be doing here.
Then tell us.
Well, Mithras is an amazing god. He is just that, a god. You think now you have control of your assets, control of yourselves. A god gives you no control. He just demands and you obey. or you face.
He asks and we
The authority.
oblige. He asks and we serve. Such
As you
is,
want, sir.
yes, indeed.
As you so truly understand.
Your
Yes, I
knees are
was
not
chosen
without.
to guard this cap by him himself.
And he
Guard
has
it for what?
chosen us to bring him back.
He chose you to be a servant in a time of need. Mithras did not awake you.
If Mithras did not awake us, then who did? We serve, it would seem, only him, obey him without even hearing his words.
I do see that has happened.
So if our presence here to retrieve this cap should be the will of Mithras, but Mithras did not awake us, what do you know? Please share. We obviously are going to do our best to work his will.
She says you are all members of a ritual called the Blooding. Do you remember that?
Do now.
Yes,
So you don't remember that? Or you do
Do
remember
now.
that?
I do remember.
We have had visions. Our minds have been clouded from our long slumber.
That is because some of the visions that you have are not yours. You have drank of many's blood, including my own. I'm sure you found yourself in my shoes.
Blood memories.
What I mean is, you awoke from torpor with ideas and thoughts. Not all of those ideas and thoughts are yours.
Such is the fate of a servant. You are aware that you are being watched by those who would hunt our kind, just out there in the main room. We come to serve our God as in the one we share. Please allow us to finish our errand.
Aren't we here to save her too? Isn't she trapped here? I believe it was part of our mission.
In fact, it was. That's
We're
right.
here to save her.
We're supposed to collect these things.
Yeah.
We were supposed to do that too, but I think Trenton led us here so we could help get her out.
I suspect that we are here now because this place is becoming unsafe. You have kept the cap safe for quite a long time, but our presence, I think, speaks to the idea that it is time for the cap, and perhaps yourself, if you wish, or if not, that is all right as well. But the cap, I believe, must go with us to be safe, for this place is safe no longer. Not from us, of course. We are the harbingers, the messengers, who are the how should I put it, the page boys to come pick up the wash before it gets put out into the rain.
Yes. There are those within the kindred societies that would like to see me gone away with, mostly because I do not agree with their political establishments and their visions for the future.
We care not for whatever factions have crept in as we've slept. I can tell you
Well,
that
you should,
there are dangerous
because
people.
their hand is up your ass, moving you like a puppet, Father.
Oh. Wow.
Yes, but Mithras's hand is up their ass, up our ass, moving us all.
It's like a
it's
like a Russian doll
Let's
of
get one other
hand.
card.
A Russian doll of
It's like
hand
it's like a
assery.
hand of an ass with a it's a glove and then another hand with a glove and then
It's a human centipede of hands up
another
asses.
ass.
Hand
Yeah.
assery being as it
It's-
may.
We're eating hand over ass.
There are
Back the
dangerous
t-shirt.
observers just out there.
Goodness.
Tell us, what can we do to save you from your bonds to this place? Do you stay here only to guard the cap? Is that it?
I stay here because this is my place. Because I refuse to be dragged from my own home. She says if they wish to find me, they will come here. They should take me from their red list. Perhaps you, being such the wonderful, knowledgeable group, talk to Queen Anne, have me removed from this red list, and I will give you the cap.
I'm afraid that'd be highly inefficient. We're already here.
I'm
Remind me.
afraid it would be quite efficient.
I'm sorry. Remind me. Is Queen Anne? Is she? I can't remember. Is she one of the ones who wants us to achieve our mission, or is she neutral? Or
She's
Mm.
yeah,
She's a person.
yeah. She's sort of in the middle somewhere.
Questionable,
Don't
right?
know. Well, clearly she's the prince.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly she would not be in charge if Mithras was awakened, because he's a god, not a prince.
Why were you put on the red list?
Because I do not agree with their political machinations.
Well, certainly, you must have something more deeply driving your beliefs. What is it about their machinations that you disapprove of? Perhaps we could align in that way.
Well, if I must be honest, the fact that they don't include me.
Well, perhaps if you left the museum, they might. I smile.
No, I mean include me in their machinations.
Yeah.
Hence why they want rid of me. Because then they do not have to share with those of power. Exactly what they will do with you when you do not serve any kind of purpose.
I wonder. The agents of Project Antigen are active even in a room down the hall. They want nothing but the undoing of our kind. Perhaps the queen of the city thinks that she can control it, but the fact that we have been activated, the fact that we are having visions, perhaps Mithras is not so sure. Perhaps Mithras feels it is time for him to take the reins and upset even the queen, because only he can bring order, where perhaps these strange and seemingly innocuous antigen people, this group of mere mortals. I mean, it seems odd, but if one were to infer that we are here by his will, and the queen is not aware of this, and neither are you, then it would seem as if this time Mithras is moving. And Mithras only moves when Mithras thinks it's right. And since Mithras is a god and infallible, it must be the right time to move. It must be time for us to take the cap.
If I may interject, Max, I wanted. In my short time I've been awake, I've seen the decadence and degradation of kindred kind. Never-ending parties, nightclubs, just gallivanting about. No austerity, no respect. This new world that I woke up into has disgusted me. Perhaps Mithras, I sense in you an old soul. Perhaps Mithras can bring us back to the old ways, the ways it was meant to be. And perhaps you as well don't fit into this time, and want to see it return to a more austere, more controlled time.
So someone can attempt a charisma plus persuasion to sway her to your side, or
allow me.
you can do manipulation and intimidation to force her.
Allow me not to roll. Hey, Lady Catherine.
I think we all got 6 pips,
Plus,
right?
Charisma and what?
Persuasion and charisma.
Persuasion and manipulation.
I've got 5 dice.
So
Charisma and
who's
persuasion.
I'll
going to do it?
charisma and persuasion.
If you want to sway her, or you can alternatively roll manipulation and intimidation.
Who's going to do it? Because the way I see this, like camera-wise, is if we're all rolling,
baby.
we're all like, la, 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 and that's going to be bizarre.
Oh shoot! I don't know how many we actually needed.
Just 2. He
think I
said 2.
suck.
He said 1, even maybe. Since it's,
I think he said you needed no successes.
Yeah.
I think 0 successes. I got 2 out of 2.
Okay, well,
If you want me to.
Alice got 3 out of 4. You can
Thank God, Alice.
take willpower to reroll up to 3 dice.
Yes. There it is. I'm sorry. Should I just roll like 3? Wait. I'm just gonna roll the same thing again, and then you will tell me what
You
the.
can just punch it.
Yeah, you
Punch
figure
it,
it out from
Julie.
there. Come on, bitches.
There can be no movement.
Ooh.
That's a little better.
He's
What the
only
hell?
two.
That is enough.
All right.
So she will walk over, and the little thing that I told you was weird on the side of the thing, she puts her eye to it,
Oh,
and it's an iris scanner, and it opens.
Ow.
Nice.
that would have been
And
tough
then
to
she
figure out for a
takes-
bunch of World War II era.
It'd have been really
Tech.
tough. It would have been really close to really nice to figure out how it went off. Like, beep, beep,
Yeah,
beep,
that's
beep,
exactly
beep,
what would
beep.
happen.
That shit would have went the fuck off.
We'd have broke that glass and been out of here.
Are
She
there-
gives you the cap. She says, "You must escort me from this premises, though."
Well, let us go now.
Gladly.
It
please,
is an
maybe,
honor.
could we go back through the Victorian section? Are you able to open all of the glass like this?
Lady
Well,
Catherine.
not all of it needs to be open, but I can open any of this.
I would shut up, Dr. Henry. I would love to get the necklace that we were looking at. It is mine. It was given to me by my love, and I must have it back.
Precious.
Keepsakes and nostalgia aside, there are those out there who would seek to interrupt our flight from this place. We should think of them, perhaps, in some way.
Yes,
I will think
I'll-
of them when I
You
have
get
my
your
necklace around my
necklace,
neck.
and we'll a few of us can walk ahead.
Perhaps the
Make sure
distraction
nobody's-
of some kind, or a red herring, as it were.
Who's to say, though, that the shiny is not Mithras's will as well?
Mm.
You're on your own, Lady Catherine.
Absolutely.
Stick by Lady Catherine.
Good
I'm
luck.
gonna activate my heightened senses and make sure that nobody is coming this way. I know there was a security guard following us that we had caught on to earlier.
Right.
And I'm gonna use my powers and find that fella.
I'll use my rapid reflexes as well to take an extra step to check the hallway and listen. And then also the other room, flashing back and forth with hyperspeed.
Sure. Give me a roll.
What do I roll?
What would
No,
you
sorry.
That'd be cool.
Awareness.
You said you were making.
What's an awareness? Okay. Wait, we both started talking, so I just wanted to double check.
That didn't say.
2
anything.
successes.
Mhm.
I got
But
2
I'm sticking
successes.
near Lady Catherine, just FYI.
Is the Q the only one rolling?
I rolled, but it takes like a minute for it to come out.
It's like my poop.
Yeah, roll
It's
again.
kind of nice. I
Roll
get to,
again and
like,
shove
check
it
my
through.
poop.
unexpectedly as well.
Kumbaya.
Anticipation making me wait. Damn, still.
Roll another one.
I'm telling you, it's coming, man.
Try again.
Yeah,
All right.
it worked
Well,
before.
we can
Just
stay here
push
all
the
night.
other one
or
out.
We can try.
Awareness and waits.
Boop.
The fact I'm doing this,
Here it comes. Here it comes.
Oh,
there
there's
we
the
are.
first one. 2 of
There we
2.
are.
All right. Yep. You both got 2 of 2. Cool. Neither one of you hear anything.
All right.
Okay. You guys wander your way back through the basement and stuff to get out of here.
Yes.
Okay. You make your way back out and you escort her out of
Wait.
the.
Sorry, I got my necklace correct.
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Chantel's like, I don't care about all this
She
part.
has
Just
I
give
don't
me,
give
give
a
me.
shit about anything else. There's one my necklace.
Yep.
All right.
She says, "Very well. You all can be here when this god awakes. I will take my leave of the city."
Go in peace. And
She
know that
says, "I wish you the best."
I envy your free will, but go in peace.
Unfortunately, it is not the free will. It is a beckoning that you are too young to hear.
Ken sent us to find you. Do you have any words that we could pass on to her?
Do what?
Do you want us to tell
Who
Chen
sent you?
anything?
Oh, Chen?
Chen,
Oh, yes.
yeah.
Mhm.
Your
I will see her before I leave.
so she will know that we have made good on our errand.
Yes.
Good.
She says, very well. And she just kind of disappears off into the darkness.
I've
And
always
so forth.
wanted to be able to do that.
And you guys have successfully retrieved the Phrygian cap.
Nice.
And that's where we're going to end the stream today.
And the stream today.